Hello, I'm back for the third book draw, but first, my second review of the books that I pulled through the TBR box, I guess is what I'm calling it now. Thank you very much for joining me for a third TBR, my TBR with a twist. Reading everything that I own and more. I'm sorry for the current setup. I plan to have things changed by now, but it's just, this is what we're working with here. I will buy new equipment soon. Thank you. Thank you for watching despite this setup. But at least he's here. He's cute, right? Holding my pen. Anyway. So, if you watched the second book draw, you will have known that I wasn't super excited to draw The Demon Tide by Lori Forrest. And I have a lot of reasons why. But first, I guess I'll tell you what the book is about. The Demon Tide by Lori Forrest is the fourth book in the Black Witch Chronicles. And it's kind of hard to talk about what this book is about, without spoilers, but I'm going to do my best to summarize the entire series with as minimal spoilers as possible. So the first book, it's called The Black Witch. It's kind of a Huckleberry Finn epic fantasy book about a girl named Ellerin going to magic school and having her world blown open by the people that she meets and the people that she befriends or finds out are not her friends. She starts seeing things in a new light and she grows as a person. Wow, yeah, just making new friends along the way. In the second book, The Iron Flower, the romance that was starting to bud in the first book culminates. It starts blooming, I suppose I should say, all while a secondary love interest is starting to take root into the plot as well, so a love triangle forms. All the while, Ellerin and her friends start taking small but powerful actions to prevent the bad guys in this world from committing atrocities, or as many atrocities, because they're still kids. There's a really big shift at the end of this book, and it leads directly into the third book, The Shadow Wand. And The Shadow Wand takes things in a very different direction, and it's kind of like Eclipse in the Twilight series, where all of a sudden the secondary love interest steps in on the stage and has a lot more influence on the plot. And in this case, a lot more influence on the plot, and it's kind of a training arc, I guess. So, in this fourth book, The Demon Tide, Ellerin is officially escaping her situation, but everyone else that has ever been in the story is also growing as well, to the point where a ton of side characters get their own chapters, and that takes up a huge chunk of the 670-page book. After lots of nothing happening in the plot, dramatic events take place that then conclude the story. I guess that's all I can say, really. It was kind of hard to get to the ending there. So, for my review, I'm really sad about this book, to be honest with you. As was expected, I was pretty wary going into it after not really loving The Shadow Wand. I read about half the book when it first came out. I put The Demon Tide down for about 2 years. Then I picked up I decided I'm just going to flip through the entire series again, get to know this entire plot before I start reading Demon Tide. So then I started rereading Demon Tide, and I just feel like the author lost the plot. I think having dual perspectives from Ellerin and Tristan, Ellerin's brother, is a great idea, and their perspectives worked for me, but everyone else, other than Tierney's, I guess, just wasn't particularly necessary. You could say Winter's perspective was important, but I actually think it would have been more effective to not know what was going on her side of things. Basically, as soon as the plot finally started to ramp up, there was 100 pages of every side character. They were all just getting ready to kiss and or bone. Okay, cool, but why? All of that should have been put into a side novella. We just didn't need that for the story, in my opinion. As a result, the actual plot ended up falling flat in my eyes, and many scenes just felt like, wimp womp, oh well, instead of a heart-wrenching, scene that I think it was supposed to be, that it meant to be. In my opinion, this book needed a huge edit. I'm really sad it didn't work for me at all, and I don't think I'm going to complete the series now. I know the Dryad Storm just released, but honestly, parts of this book made me angry. What are you doing? Why are you ruining the plot that you had set up? Ah! I feel bad because I know this author's heart is in the right place. She's writing a story about how even though everyone comes from different backgrounds and cultures, and everyone has prejudices against each other, you don't have to act on them. And in fact, maybe even though we're all different and have different priorities in life, we should just put aside our prejudices and come together to fight this fascist regime that's looming over the horizon. Maybe I would recommend this book to not a lot of people, honestly. I guess if you're a teenager and you're obsessed with every character you meet in a story getting a chance to smooch, this is the book for you. Or if someone really needs a book to fall asleep to, some of this book was really boring. I would not recommend this book to anyone who read and liked Iron Flower and was iffy about the Shadow Wand. It doesn't get better. I also don't recommend this book to someone who liked the Shadow Wand because you're not going to be happy. I don't recommend this book to anyone who hates books that have multiple perspectives because there's like 12 in this book. And just most people in general, I don't, sadly, I do not recommend this book. I think you should read The Black Witch, and I think you should read the second book, Iron Flower, and then I think you should maybe just like make up the ending, the rest of the story in your brain, because it just, no. I'm sorry, Lori. I'm really sorry. Okay. For the next part of this video, I will be drawing another book. So the first two books I got were on my actual TBR, and like half of the books in here are from my TBR and like half are not. At this point, I'm kind of looking forward to getting a book that I don't have on my physical TBR, but you know what? I'm ready for anything. The Demon Tide wasn't very good, so honestly, just looking for a good book. That's all I want this time. So I'm gonna stick my hand in here, and I'm looking right now. I'm gonna like, woo! Move it all around. I can't like reach it. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna shut my eyes, actually, so I don't know what I'm grabbing. I'm gonna keep going. I wanna grab from over here. Let's grab this one. What did I get? What color is it? I don't know yet. It's yellow. Oh, okay, let me open it up. Okay, I had to do a little bit of research to see what I'm reading next. This is my very first book that is pulled out. That is not a book that I own. I don't know if I can get it to, it's like a really, really intricate cover that isn't going to show up very well as a mini, unfortunately. Let me show a picture of the cover here. Here's a picture of the cover, since this isn't going to do it any justice. So this is Crom Cruach by Valkyrie Lofcrew. I don't know if that's correct or not. What I do know is this is my first Slugling suggested book. This was suggested by Brakka Quilltusk. They're a half-orc barista bard VTuber. They stream on Twitch. I'll put the link to their streams down in my description box if you want to check them out. So thank you, Brakka. Thank you. The tiny blurb from Crom Cruach says, Crom Cruach is a distinctly Irish anxiety piece about the reluctant future and repressed past of a country trying to shrug off the shackles of colonialism, wrapped in the shiny black feather of Jayo? I don't know how to say that. And written in a poetic style fit for the fog-shrouded mysticism of the Emerald Isle. I don't know. I've never read anything like this, I don't think. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. Thank you very much for your suggestion, Brakka. And I'll get the review out as soon as I'm done. Thanks. And that's it. I'll see you soon. Bye, every sluggy.